so I moved to Ireland. This is a really weird angle. I'm kind of like leaning into the desk, but I have a bookshelf. It's here. It's made of It's made of books that I found around the house that I'm living in, which is my old family house. So a lot of people have lived here and collected books and left books here. So I'm not sure who owns these books originally. Well, some of them I do, but basically I had a lot of books to pick from. I grabbed the ones that piqued my interest and I put them on the shelf in my room. So I have a nice little resource of things to read from now, which I'm very excited about. But let's go through it one by one. So first of all, this stuff here is my Japanese stuff I brought from Japan. All this is horror manga, up to here. And then I bought this just before I left Japan. It's a Japanese copy, original 1970s copy of one of my favorite books of all time, The Word Book by Mieko Kanai. So I can hopefully, read some of my favorite stories and learn Japanese alongside, at the same time. I also have this little book of phrases which was written for me by a friend in Japan. So that's really nice, more practice there for me, language practice. This is Fabulas Orales, some folk tales or fairy tales from a Peruvian friend, D. And I have to practice Spanish. So this is like my language learning section. This is stuff that I've read already and finished. At Night, Blood is Black was great. And Normal People. So I'm going to talk about those more in other videos. Because a lot needs to be said about those books. They were really something. So let's move over here. This stuff isn't books. This is my Edward Gorey tarot deck. Not really a tarot deck. It's kind of like a weird Edward Gorey thing because he's amazing. These are some expired Soviet chocolates which I got in Lithuania a long time ago, and I couldn't bring myself to eat them because they were so cool. The shipping news, which I wanted to read some Annie Peru, and I found this, and I was really happy that my aunt had, I presume it's my aunt's, these tapes. So I've been listening to it. I'm halfway through. That's good. Stay up there. This is El Profeta, Khalil, what's he called? Gibran. So The Prophet by Khalil Gibran in Spanish. And the reason I have this is less because I'm super interested in this book, which I know is really famous. And I think I read a little bit of it before back in uni, but because it's got a little note in the front from my mother to my father when they were dating. So that's really cute. And I just found it really hidden away. So that's really kind of nice thing to have on one's shelf, I think. These are two poetry books, Carol Ann Duffy and Wendy Cope. I think I've read them all because I know these. My dad would have got these for his sister, I read them. But it's nice having poetry. Just if you want a poem, you know what I mean. And that's the only poetry really that I found that looked kind of interesting to me. What's this? Oh, I think this is Irish. Is it? Yeah, like Irish language stuff. Just in case I wanted to learn some Irish. It's probably not going to happen. What's this one? Still the Same Man, John Bilbao. This is a Spanish thriller, I think. I just read the back of it. Never heard of it before, but it's like really short, and it's a thriller, and it's in translated from the Spanish. So sounds great. Sounds like my cup of tea. Really old Allen Ginsberg, Reality Sandwiches. It's a great title. Let's see if it's got anything written in it to give me a clue. No. 1963 it was published. Next we have A Confederacy of Dunces by John Kennedy Toole. I'm not sure about this one. Like, everything that I've heard about this sounds like I wouldn't like it so much, and I always read like the first sentence or two, and it didn't grab me, but I know it's a classic, and I don't know, it's because it's a book about like a horrible person, I think, and those are hard, I think, to get right. Let me tilt the camera a bit. For me personally, like books about horrible people, like you really have to be something special for me to want to read a whole book about someone that I really don't like, you know what I mean? But the title is good as well, and I know it's a classic, and it's not too long, and yeah, maybe. Another classic, Charles Dickens, Bleak House. The font, I remember, I looked at this. I was excited when I found it, but it's like, it's tiny, and the font is tiny, and the book is huge, so I might destroy my eyes if I try to read this. So I might not get around to that, but you know, it's there if I want to. The Reluctant Fundamentalist by Mohsin Hamid. This was like kind of, I remember when this was really popular back in the day. And yeah, it just looked interesting. John William Stoner, I've heard a few people on BookTube talking about that, and I don't know anything about it except it's, I think, meant to be quite depressing and like a campus novel kind of thing. But yeah, I think it's quite popular. The Pearl, yeah, this is Victorian era pornography, so that's pretty exciting. Yeah, so there was a magazine in like the Victorian times, which published a lot of like written porn, and like erotica, I guess you should call it. But yeah, they did this book, I think in the 60s or something, which like compiled a lot of the best smut basically. So that's exciting. Anthony Burgess, The End of the World News. So I've not read The Clockwork Orange. I would like to, but I found this again, another super old 1960s book. I presume 1960s. It's very yellow, and it's called The End of the World News, and it's the back sounds. Do you want to hear the back? Psychoanalysis, international socialism, and the end. 3 themes, 3 stories, outrageously counterpointed into Trinity in a novel stuffed with verbal pyrotechnics, amazing sleights of fantasy, or slates of, I don't know, slate of hand, and tantalizing jokes, and which is crowned by a brilliant, unexpected, out-of-this-world finale, all written by one novelist at the height of his powers. So, just sounds exactly like my cup of tea, and, you know, if you know the name of this channel, you know why. Cormac McCarthy, All the Pretty Horses, I heard that's a good one. I like what I've read of Cormac McCarthy. Jane Eyre, I should mention that I've not read any of these books on this side, like, so all these ones are things I brought from Japan, like this stuff, Japan, plus things I've read, and these ones are all things that I gathered in the house and are unread. So yeah, I've not read, to my great shame, Jane Eyre. Looking forward to it. Dream of Fair to Middling Women. I've no idea. It's not. It's obviously a kind of repugnant title, I guess, on purpose. By Samuel Beckett. It's the only Beckett book I found in the house. I really want to read something by Beckett. So like a novel by Beckett. I mean, I've read what's it called? Waiting for Godot and Endgame. But oh no, my dogu. Oh no, everything's happening. The duck has fallen. The dogu's okay. This is my little dogu from Japan. He also made it over here, or she, I guess. It looks more like a she with those child rearing hips. What's next? Oh, duck. Next we are on Midnight's Children by Salman Rushdie. Yeah, I don't know what this is about, but again, it's a very famous book. Winner of the 1981 Booker Prize. There you go. Hang on, my face is really being chopped out. Let's do that. There, wonderful. Flann O'Brien, The Third Policeman. This book I have, like, there's a copy of it in my parents' house in London, and it has a really scary cover, which terrified me, I think, when I was quite small. But I've got a sort of morbid fascination, and also like he's pretty famous Irish writer, so I'd like to get to know more of the Irish classics since I'm here, you know, when in Rome. Maya Angelou, I Know Why the Caged Bird Sings. Again, like a classic. Never Let Me Go by Kazuo Ishiguro. I really liked the film. I didn't like the book so much, The Remains of the Day. I liked it, but not, you know, I didn't love it. That's also Ishiguro. But this one looks like it could be more interesting. Like, it's kind of sci-fi. I mean, I don't want to say too much, but like, yeah, if you've seen the film, or I mean, lots of people have read this book. The History of Bees. Why did I pick this one? I don't know why I picked this one, The History of Bees. It's oh right, it's got like 3 storylines, one in England 1851, one in the United States 2007, and one in China 2098. So obviously some sci-fi stuff connecting, and international stuff connecting different stories through the motif of bees, I suppose, which sounds fun. Then these I'm going to take out these 4 because these are like my like my booktube for, because I know that I've saw them so much on booktube when I started. Housekeeping by Marilyn Robinson, Olive Kitteridge by Elizabeth Strout, Gilead by Marilyn Robinson, and My Name is Lucy Barton by Elizabeth Strout. Recently had a sequel, or a threequel, right? The third one came out in the Lucy Barton series, I think. Oh, William, like people talk about that a lot. So I might as well start at the start. The Mill on the Floss. Is this not the most gorgeous book you have ever seen? It's a hardback. It is absolutely beautiful. It looks old but new at the same time, if that makes sense. And the reason why is, I remember I read this. Where does it say it? This is a facsimile reproduction of a 1933 edition. So like this is the, it's a new but it's old. It's gorgeous, and I want to read more George Eliot. So this seems to be where I'm starting. Next, near the end now, we have. Can you see? Yeah, this is good. The little turtle with stuff in his shell. Snow by John Banville, another thriller, but like I think this writer is pretty famous, and so it's kind of interesting to me, like literary fiction person writing a thriller. I wonder how that's going to go. That's my image of it anyways. This massive one, The Luminaries by Eleanor Catton, which won something, didn't it? Yeah, won the Man Booker Prize in 2013. I read the first page or something, and I really didn't click with it, and like the whole premise thing, like I'm not sure exactly what it is. It was something to do with constellations and a mystery, and I don't know, it just really didn't grab me at all. And because it's so huge, you really want it to be something that grabs you at the beginning. Do you know what I mean? Because if it doesn't grab you at the beginning, you're like, oh no, it's gonna be. So I don't know if I will read this, even though I put it here. I like the cover. It looks very nice. This one, Vivid Faces. This is a non-fiction. The subtitle is The Revolutionary Generation in Ireland, 1890 to 1923. So it's got lots of pictures of young people who helped bring about big social change and stuff like that, and historical things. I need to learn history, and this seems like a cool way to get into it. Like young people starting change is more relatable to me than a lot of old history books and stuff. And there was another one. This book is supposed to be here as well. Can I fit it in without knocking everything over? Let's see. This is George Orwell, the fiction. So it's all the fiction that he wrote. I didn't realize he wrote so little fiction. He wrote Animal Farm, Burmese Days, A Clergyman's Daughter, Coming Up for Air, Keep the Aspidistra Flying, and 1984. So those are all the books that he ever wrote, apart from non-fiction things. Let me see if I can squish this in. Oh no. Oh, watch out. Will it squish? It will squish. Okay. The reason is because it's out is because I was reading Keep the Aspidistra Flying, but I'm gonna go to London now, so I can read the copy there. I don't need to carry that huge thing across the sea. Okay. So, oh no. Please stay. I'm actually gonna go to London right now. My flight is in a minute. But I just thought I would quickly show you my new shelf. There it is. It's in all its glory. That's my new bookshelf. I don't know if I'm going to read all these books in a particular order. I'm probably going to go to the library. I'm probably going to read ebooks and stuff like that as well. But it's just nice having this as a resource, if I feel like I want a book, then there's books in front of me. I can just grab one, and it's exciting, a new bookshelf, right? So anyway, that's that. Bye-bye.